Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, today we're going to be looking at the Divi dividers. Now, dividers are things you can add to sections to add a bit of interest. For instance, this little white section coming up here, we've got a divider on the bottom, giving it that nice sort of curly appearance there. If I continue rolling down, we've got a diagonal right there. You see that quite a lot on site. And we've created a whole diagonal section by doing that with a similar divider on the bottom. If we continue going down, you can do some crazy things. We've got a little contact section there with a little alien fella in it. Watch what happens when I hover my mouse over it. We've got dividers at the bottom of the top, animating on hover. And that's just scratching the surface. So let's get started. I've got a page over here. Let's enable the Visual Builder. Okay, I've got a little page here with a few sections on it just to demonstrate what's going on. I'm going to hit the little purple button. Left-hand side, little icon for wireframe mode. This is exactly what we got on the page. Blue tabs are sections here, and dividers are only available on sections. We've got 3 different sections there, just with a little bit of content into each. Let's flip back to desktop mode and get started. Okay, let's go into our top section, blue tab, and in every section when it opens up, if you go over to the design, you'll find dividers right there, and that's what we're working with today. Click on the dividers, and it'll give you the option to add one to the top and or to the bottom. So we've got top selected. Let's throw a few in there just so you can see what's going on. Where it says none there, just left click, and you've got several different options here to choose from. As you can see, just click on the one you want to add it to the top or to the bottom. Make it the color that you want it. Down below, you can decide how high it's going to be. And you can slide, you can type in a value. I'm going to leave mine about here. You can decide how much you want to repeat it horizontally. Watch what happens when I slide this slider up. Just sort of repeats itself till you've got many little curves like that. I'm happy with the way it was. That's a nice little option. You can flip it around the other way if you want to. You can flip it top to bottom if you want to. I'll leave those just as they were. You can decide whether it wants to be under the arrangement there or on top. See, it's covering it up there, and you can mask things like that and get some great mask image effects like that. I'm going to leave mine again underneath the section content. And of course, with the color, if something's having a hard time showing through, just click on the color, and you've got all your color options such as opacity here, or you can just drag it down so it's a little bit more subtle, fading into the white background there. That makes that logo stand out a little bit more. And of course, once you're happy with the top, you can add one to the bottom if you wish. Just select the bottom tab. Again, click where it says none. Decide what you want, and it's the bottom of this section, remember, and you don't have to put one on if you don't want one. Let's just put that similar sort of curly one on the bottom there. And to make it exactly the same color as the one on the top, if we flip back to the top, right click on that color, copy divider color, click on the bottom one, right click on the little color there, paste divider color. We've now got the similar color on the bottom there. And of course you can add, delete however you wish. And one more thing I'd like to demonstrate. Let's change the color background on this section below. Let's make it perhaps a dark color. It really doesn't matter. Let's make it my 2424 gray. Great. Now let's go over to design in this section and add a divider. On the top, let's select one. I'll just use this sort of two-tone triangular one. And I'll put it in there like that. And you may or may not notice, if I was to take that bottom divider away from the section above, it's taken on the color, the white there, of our section above. If I was to put one of these on the top of our blue section down below, let's just do that out of interest, you'd see it takes on this grey colour on top. Design, dividers. I'll put the same one on there. I'll change this in a minute because I want to demonstrate something else down there. We'll put that similar divider on. And as you can see, it's taken on the colour on the top there, which is really cool. Let's just take that away. I just wanted to demonstrate it taking on the colour there. We'll go back up to our one that we've got here. Let's go up to the top. We'll take this bottom one off of here. Design, dividers, bottom. Switch it back to none. Then we'll save this. Let's make this little section into a diagonal section. We've kind of done it already with that one there. I'm sure you're ahead of me here. If we go into there, design, dividers. Let's switch this for a regular one, a regular little wedge shaped one. And as you can see, our little section there, it's got a diagonal line in it. If you think that that's too deep for you, you can undo that, take it away again. You can put it on the section above in the bottom. Save that. Section above. We've got one on the top there. We'll go into the bottom. We'll use that same sort of wedge right there. And we'll make it the same colour as our section below, which we know is 2424. And you've got a nice little section there that's not cramping those images. If you decide, well, we want more space on this section, I'm sure you know how to do that. Just add a bit more padding to the bottom of the section. Padding's always in design, under spacing. There it is. Let's give it an extra 100 on the bottom. Just type in the 100. It'll put the pics in for you. That'll just give it an extra 100 pixels breathing space on the bottom there. And to make this section completely diagonal like that, again, I'm sure you're ahead of me. Go to the section below it and we'll do exactly the same thing. Design, dividers. We want to put one on the top that's the same colour as the section on top, which is that one. Now we've instantly got a little diagonal section there, which is fantastic. And you can change the angle. You can make it deeper, obviously, by giving the divider height more. And you can come up with some great two-tone designs like that. And of course you can give it less by sliding it back the other way. And if you don't like what you've done, as with all things Divi, select it, delete it. It'll go back to the default for you. And it is how it was. And again, if you decide you want more space with these images here, you can just add a bit of padding to the top here. And it'll push them down a little bit. I'm going to take that particular divider away, and we're going to demonstrate another one. You may have seen on this page, when we roll down to the bottom here, when I rolled over, we've got a little animation going on with two little dividers there. Again, that's really easy to do. If we go back in here, let's use something a little more interesting perhaps. So remember, we're in our blue section now. We're working on the top of our blue section. Let's just pop that one in. Remember, those two-tone ones will take on the colour above and below. That's great. But I'm actually going to change this because I want a slightly different colour. So there's, out of interest, make it purple. Make yours any colour you want, obviously. And let's plop one on the bottom. I'm going to go down. We'll choose one for the bottom. I'll use a similar sort of thing. It doesn't have to be the same at all. You can use any combinations you want there. Then to animate these on hover, what you need to do, we'll go back to our top one here. I'm going to take the colour down a little bit on that. I'm going to click on the purple. I'm going to take the opacity slider down. You'll see it fade into the background a little bit so it's more subtle. I want something like that. So when we start out, perhaps it can be just like that. Then when they hover over it, I want it to be maybe 100% of the height that we've got here. Very easy to do. If you watched our hover effects tutorial, you'll know exactly how to do this. Hover over the divider height or whichever thing you want to affect. You'll see some little icons appear. If there's a little arrow there, we can have two completely different values for desktop when the mouse is not on it, and the hover tab when the mouse is on it. So desktop, I'm happy with it to be exactly where it is. In fact, let's make that the default's 100 pixels. I'm going to make it 10 and the percent sign. So it's 10% of the height of the section itself there. If I click on the hover tab now, I'm going to make it 100%. And when I do that, you can see it's zoomed down here and it's now all the way down at the bottom, which is great. To make this even more interesting, you can do a similar thing with the bottom. Let's change the color on this. I'll make it a bit lighter blue, I think, by selecting a blue. I'm going to pull it up and you can see it on the bottom there. It's that light blue. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to go down to divider height. When we first start, again, I'm going to make it 10%. Doesn't have to be the same as the one above. I'm just doing it that way. Click the little arrow, desktop. We've got 10% and hover. I'm going to have 100%. So now they're going to be crossing over the top of each other. You can even make it 150 or 200%. Watch what happens when I do that. It actually spills out of the section, goes into the section above, which is great. Now, if you want it to do that, but want it to cut off at the top here, there's a little trick we can do. We can hide the overflow. So if I go over to Advanced, and this is common to all Divi sections, rows, and modules, in Advanced, you'll find Visibility. In Visibility, you'll find Horizontal and Vertical Overflow. If we change both of these to Hidden, what happens to this bit that's spilling out of the section there? I'll hide it there. I'll hide it there. Now it's still going to go up 200%, but it's only going to show it to the section end there. Great. So we've got that little hover effect. By default, the time it takes to do this hover effect is 300 milliseconds. And you can change that, speed it up or slow it down in the Advanced again. If we close up Visibility, just down below we've got transitions. And again, this is in every section, row and module. If you want to slow it down, put a higher value in. If you want to speed it up, put a lower value in. You can slide, you can type in. Let's make this about a second, something like that. And you can increment up and down with the little arrows to fine tune there. Don't want any delay, want it to happen as soon as their mouse hits it. Transition speed curve I'm going to use for this. My hover effects go-to is ease in, out. That way when they take the mouse off, it kind of eases back out, which to me is a nice effect. Great, well let's save all this and make sure this is going to work on the front end. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the Visual Builder. And there we have it. We've got that little sort of wavy divider at the top there. We've got a little diagonal divider on the bottom of that section there. And we've got our wavy one on our little gallery here that when we hover over, as you can see there, it's going to do its thing. And it's going to take a second to do that little animation because that's what we set for it. But like I say, you can get some amazing effects with the dividers, really easy to use. You can only use them on sections, but you can turn a regular page into something with real interest value. I've gone a little bit over the top here, obviously for demonstration purposes, but used judiciously, you can get some great results. So there you go, guys. There's how to use section dividers with the awesome Divi theme. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video like this one. If you've enjoyed this, do check out our Divi for Beginners playlist. You'll find the link down below this video. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignertechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.